Welcome back to NinjaTrader Live. I'll be your host, Tom Schneider, CMT, with NinjaTrader, the segment we call Traders Workshop. This is where we bring our NinjaTrader ecosystem partners to share their expertise and see what's possible on the NinjaTrader platform. Today is really special. We have a brand new ecosystem guest on, and this is really my first time talking with Jody Samuels, FX Traders Edge. How you doing, Jody?
I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me on today.
Oh, my pleasure. And, just great to have you on and learn more about what you do. I know you've been working with some of the people in the ecosystem recently. You had a webinar recently, correct?
We did have a webinar. It went great. I had a lot of interest for for our indicators on NinjaTrader.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Before we jump into, I get a look at your screen right now. It isn't being shared yet, so I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. But can you just give us a little bit of background of how you got into the trading business and what evolved to FX Traders Edge?
Absolutely. So I started trading with JP Morgan on Wall Street as an interbank trader in early 1980, actually December of 79, a long time ago. So I was on the desk with 20 other traders, and eventually, after a few years, I was given the British pound. So I traded the Great British Pound from 240 down to 105, back up to the 150s during such volatile times. It was just, this is here, learn and I guess I had the opportunity to trade the British pound after starting with the Scandinavian currencies,
Oh,
because I had spent 3 months in Scandinavia, in Norway actually, on the trading desk. And that's what got me interested in trading. I was doing like an internship there for this student business organization right out of college. And I was supposed to work in a can manufacturing firm. And after having 3.5 months actually in the arbitrage department of the foreign exchange, I said, this is what I want to do. So I went back to New York and I knocked on two doors, JP Morgan and Citibank. And unbeknownst to me, they were good friends because it was a very small market then. And they literally flipped a coin and JP Morgan hired me.
wow.
So,
So
yeah,
JP Morgan in New York on Park Avenue, right?
on Wall Street. Yeah,
Oh,
in
down
Wall
in Wall
Street.
Street. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
great. And
yeah.
what I love about FX trading, I started in FX, but a completely different area, more of a customer support for Reuters. But I love the lingo, right? Naki, Swissy, all the different terms. That just, the sterling and cable and whatever it is. FX traders certainly close knit, tight community, small but really exciting. I can imagine why you would want to stay there instead of going to, well, I don't know, can manufacturing might be exciting for some, but it's amazing start.
Yeah, and I was the only female trading one of the major currencies, trading I guess the British pound across all the major banks globally
Wow.
at that time. Yeah.
That's impressive because it again, close knit community, right? Might be a little inclusive or not inclusive.
Right, right. So it was interesting, and that's where I got my start with volatile markets, because the 80s brought a lot of volatility and huge movements, um, really huge movements. So it was a great beginning. And
What
then,
about
yeah.
curious, you mentioned the 80s, of course, did you have any experience when kind of that Soviet Union collapsed and you had all these countries that were part of the Soviet Union now their own countries? Was that any part of your trading venue, or were you more in the majors?
I was in the majors, and then my company transferred me to Toronto. That's why I'm here today,
Oh,
to run the Canadian dollar trading operation in Forex. So I was up here for half of my career actually.
wow.
So I was involved. I mean, the market is a global market. I was witness to everything that took place globally, obviously, and it all affects all the currencies.
For sure, for sure. Another one, Looney, right? Love that name. Um, and Toronto's lovely. I love Toronto. Love visiting there. Did that a lot when I was with Bloomberg. If you know, Hockey Hall of Fame right there, you know,
Yeah.
one of the jewels.
Yes. So you asked, I didn't directly ask, so how did I get started with my own business with FX Trader's Edge? I'll answer that now.
Hmm.
Well, I left the bank and actually I set up a futures trading desk for myself, and I traded futures, 20 different futures markets on 20 different markets.
Wow.
I got an office in my husband's office, and I sat there by myself and traded 20 different futures markets for 2 years. I paid $2,500 a month for data.
Oof.
This was in the mid to late 90s. Yeah, that was very expensive. And then I decided that I wanted to do something else. I was offered a great opportunity, so I actually worked for an energy company when the energy market was opening up for 7 years. It was fabulous until it wasn't. And then with Enron, etc. I wasn't working for Enron. I was up here. And and then I left them and I started FX Trader's Edge. This was back in, I guess, 2008. And then I just continued to grow that business. And now FX Trader's Edge was the original, but I, of course, have branched out myself personally. I trade my stock portfolio and I trade the futures markets once again. So we came all the way back to trading the futures markets.
Full
And
circle.
yeah, full circle, full circle. Yeah.
So one of the services that you provide is your indicators, right? Um, on the NinjaTrader, how you've witnessed or discovered different ways to identify inflection points or look at how the markets might be changing. Is this something you can talk to a little bit?
Absolutely. When I worked at JP Morgan, we hired an analyst off the floor of the CBOT, and he was just starting out, or he was very interested in Elliott wave analysis, so looking at the market cycles. And I was like a sponge back then. I just picked up everything and I learned Elliott wave analysis. I tried to learn whatever he had to teach us. We were traders on the desk and he would provide us with his analysis every single morning because we were, we had to act. Things were very different then. We had to quote prices all day long. So
Mhm.
that's when I got into Elliott wave analysis. So my work today is a system which incorporates Elliott wave analysis. The Wavy Tunnel Pro is the name of my flagship program, the Wavy Tunnel Pro. And it's a combination of Elliott wave analysis, Fibonacci, and harmonics using the Wavy Tunnel Pro strategy, which is an Elliott wave based strategy. So when I first developed this course and this program, I always said, now here is a way where you can count the waves without really counting the waves. That was my tagline. So all of the indicators that we've developed has a Fibonacci slash Elliott wave slash market cycle um, bias to them. All of the numbers that we use in the analysis, all of the proprietary stuff, it's all Fibonacci related. So that's how my indicators were developed. That was first, it was the course and the program, and then it was the indicators and the scanner. And we're on many platforms, but now we're on NinjaTrader as well, which is
Awesome.
great because I trade futures on NinjaTrader.
Well, it seems like a natural fit. I'm impressed because Elliott wave analysis is not a first day kind of thing. You really have to know your chops about it. It's very much, the market moves in waves. I think we can all agree on. And Elliott, the Elliott wave process has certain rules that go with it, and it's very intimidating, I think.
It is. For many traders, it's very intimidating. And that's why I like to say market cycles. And when I do webinars, I really try to explain the market cycles in terms of the market map. And I show how it relates to the wavy tunnel setup right on the charts. So
That
I try to simplify it.
and that's a great service, I think. Maybe Mission Control, we could take a look at Jody's charts, because I'm looking at them and I'm hearing Jody talk, and I think maybe our viewers could benefit too from this. Um, you know, and I'm I'll confess, Jody, I'm a CMT and I'm part of the testing committee. So Elliott Wave has always been one of those sections that students just have a problem with. So to be able to simplify it and kind of serve it up in a way that makes traders, makes it easily digestible, I think is really beneficial.
Absolutely. So maybe I should take one of these charts and blow it up and show a bigger time frame and just give a quick little
Yeah,
something about it.
I'd love to see that.
Okay, so let's just put up the daily, because it's always better to start with the daily and then we can go. Okay, this is a good. So this is the NQ, and you can see the wave, or the pink lines, and the tunnel, the two black lines. And when we have a wave 3 or a trend, the trend waves in Elliott wave analysis are 1, 3, and 5. The strongest wave is going to be the wave 3, and that's going to be when the wave separates from the tunnel. So I don't really sit here and count the waves. I'm just looking for trends and corrections. And I know, starting back here, when the wave is separating from the tunnel, we're going to have corrections down into the wave, and this is an uptrend. And as soon as we start to break down below the wave, we're going to the tunnel. So we see the purple. This was a purple arrow until we made a high above it. Now it's gray. So when it was purple, this was the initial signal. We would come down into the wave, back up over the wave. And once we broke down below that we were coming down into the tunnel with a gray arrow. And this is called my wave 2 or my wave 4 trade, because we don't really, I'm not counting the waves. I know this is a trend. Could it be wave 1, wave 3? I don't care really. I just know that when we come back down, we're going to likely move back up again. And we do. And once again, the wave separates from the tunnel. We have the purple arrow here, which is the purple arrow is the biggest swing move. Then comes the gray. Then we have yellow, red, and blue beneath that. And as soon as price is stretched up here. So the first initial move, it will be a move down into the wave. And then you can see that we trade sideways here for a bit. And then we come down into the tunnel. And usually we go below the tunnel, which we did here. And once we have this, this gray arrow, and there are other things which go along with it to signify that, yes, this could potentially be the bottom. And then we start to move up. So I know that I'm not going to be buying in here. Now, this is a daily chart, and this pattern can be seen on any time frame because the markets are fractal. So on the hourly, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, the 2-minute, the 30-second, you will see these patterns show up everywhere. And now we've traded up, down, and you can see the red dot, the red dot. And normally after we have this kind of a move, we do start another trend move up, or we have a bigger correction. So I just know that once we have the first leg and then the second leg, now I'm looking for that third leg up. And I don't know when it's going to end. Okay. So this looks to be about, I didn't measure it. You could take Fibonacci, about 100% of this move. So the same distance. And that's the initial target, the same distance for this
Mm-hmm.
move. Now, this is the NQ on the daily. And this morning, I actually had a room at 9 o'clock with some of the Ninja traders, and I drew a box around this, and I said, once we go below this candle here, it's likely that we're going to go into the wave. And as soon as we broke down, I could probably show it on a smaller time frame. We had a major sell-off today,
Yeah.
right into the wave. Yeah. So
So
that's it in a nutshell.
so Jody, I mean, this is great. The retracement that we saw from about a week ago is that it looks like a peak high, right? This recent data above this recent wave. Is that possible that this uptrend from that low in mid-September, early September, that previous supportive dot, is it possible that this current wave isn't over? Like even with today's retracement into the wave, or are you saying, you know what, we probably have a corrective wave happening right now, and we would look for a retracement to see the wave separate from the tunnel?
Oh, okay. So let me go down to the 4-hour to show you that.
Okay.
I might have to add more candles here. Yeah. Okay. What I'm waiting for now, since and you see all of these trend lines also being
Mm-hmm.
automatically drawn, so we have automatically drawn trend lines. So this, once we break down below the wave, which happened today, I'm looking for a move below the tunnel with the gray arrow. That's what I'm looking for the next, to finish up this leg. So a bit more of a drop, I guess, to see a gray arrow on the 4-hour. We may or may not get it, because what I also want to see is on this chart, these bungees are telling me that we are still in an uptrend, and this is just a correction.
Got
So
it.
the bungees haven't really broken down. I don't want to get into that in too many details, but it's possible that we will have a bit more and get a gray arrow before the end of this. I'm calling this a correction.
Got it. But if it breaks down through the tunnel, it's possible that it's more than just a correction. Could it start a trend change? I mean,
Yes,
we need more
absolutely.
evidence.
We
Yeah.
need more evidence. So I go step by step. For that, we have to go back up to the daily. And then we would definitely have a correction of this move. Okay, once we finish this leg of the move, then we would, if we are going to reverse and go down, then we would call this a 3-wave correction.
Mm.
Corrections happen in 3 waves.
Yep.
So this could be the first leg of the correction. This could be the second leg of the correction. And if this in fact is going to go lower, then we will finish up this leg, correct it. And if we fail to make a new high above here, then yes, this is a change in trend, and we will see another 5 waves down
Down.
from
Yep.
here.
So Jody, I'll let you know a little bit of my history. I had some product management experience at Bloomberg with charts, and Elliott Wave was so difficult to program because you have to know the entire range of the date to be able to determine waves. But we know that life isn't like that. You could pull in more data and it could completely throw off your waves. That's what I like about this, and like about your attitude is like you don't really care what the waves, you're responding to what the waves are telling you now, not where it fits within a set of, I mean, not arbitrary rules. They're very hard and fast rules, but the market doesn't always play by those rules, right? And so, getting away from the tunnel, the wave gets away from the tunnel, it gets closer to the tunnel. It just, to me, makes sense to be able to measure waves. You can't really rely on data you don't see, in my mind.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you. It's challenging to automate that because Elliott wave analysis is also it's also a bit subjective, like you mentioned.
Right.
So if it's subjective, then how can you automate that? Unless
Yes.
you have different, you can automate it, but you have to have different scenarios playing out. And then it's up to the trader to make a decision.
Right. Right.
This is a scenario that I'm going to follow. So with this system, the Wavy Tunnel Pro system, I just following the candles and I'm following. I know. I mean, I know what a trend and correction looks like because I've studied it for 40 years.
Right.
So I can just look at this chart and see that this is a three-wave correction, and that if we once we complete this wave and we correct back up, yeah, we're going to have another move down.
Right. It's understanding kind of what's next. Like where is the breaking point? You know, we talk about the continental divide where water falls, and depending on where it falls on the divide, it either goes to the Atlantic or it goes into the Mississippi. It's kind of the same thing here. You know, if we break below this level here, it means it's a correction. We might see a correction in trend. Otherwise, it could just be a pullback into an uptrend.
Right, exactly.
And this works for any market, right? I mean, you know, we talk about the fractal analysis or fractal nature of technical analysis. Same thing, right? The market, it's just data, as I always say. It's just data. We can
Hmm.
put on any data, right?
Yeah, so we could put up another symbol if you want, or a smaller time frame.
Yeah, maybe let's look at gold. I'm interested to see what gold is because we know you know it's kind of like the Dow or the E-mini. We're making all-time highs in gold. Yeah, December gold is fine, I think. Not a problem. Uh-oh. All you gold bulls, gold bugs.
Just, okay, that's good. Yeah, so this is the daily.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at how see, look at how we've been really separating from the tunnel, and now we are, we are a bit stretched, right? When I say we're stretched, I mean prices above the wave. And
Mhm.
sometimes when we're in a very steep move, we stay above the filter. This is called the filter. This is a 12 EMA. So this move in gold, this last little leg has been very steep, so we're above the filter now.
Yeah, I like that idea of I thought it was just the tunnel and the wave, but the filter too. I mean, this idea of stretchiness, of extension, of you know, getting away from and reverting back to can be very helpful. We look at some other moving averages like 8 and 21, kind of following that Fibonacci. And you know, I look at the 21 as a safety net to the 8, and I could see your you know your filter is kind of the same thing for the wave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you could, yeah. I used to use look at the 8 and 21 when I first started. I looked at all small the smaller Fibonacci moving averages, 8, 21, 34, 55.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Seems common, right?
Mm-hmm. So let's put up the 4 hour. I need more data here. Yeah. So look at this. We came right down into the wave, long tails here, and then just bounced right off of it. Wasn't ready to move down here. So now we are at like the crossroads. We're at the junction. Are we going to make a new high, or are we going to come back down and correct this thing? And now sometimes if a market is very, very strong like gold is, we might not come down all the way to the tunnel. We might just have a correction down midway. That happens as well.
Yeah, we were noticing that I think either on crude or gold today, where the speed lines we you know we use different trend lines that as the acceleration changes, we adapt our speed lines and man, it wasn't even coming back down to the latest trend line that we saw. And that
Yeah.
happens, right? And you can't really always adapt for it with a trend line or yeah, a trend line, but um you know, it's interesting that, you know, crossroads happen if you don't have something like this identifying it, you might not see that, right?
Right. Right. And seeing it and also explaining it. We have a lot of education which explains this and explains the market map. I call this the market map. And yeah, I mean, there are a lot of moving parts here, granted, right? You have
Yeah.
these,
Yeah.
the awesome oscillator, and you have the bungee, we call it the bungee, and then you have the moving averages, and you have the semaphores.
A lot here. Jody, we've run out of time. I do want to give you the time to let people know where can they find you?
Okay, you can contact me at jody@fxtradersedge.com, and I am just going to let me just put up our website for the NinjaTrader. I'm just going to move this over. Is right here. This is the link, wavytunnelpro.com/NinjaTrader. And I have put all of our, this is our indicator sweetened scanner tools, what I just showed you. So I'm giving you a first month trial for a penny, and then it renews at $99. And then these are all of the courses that we offer. And this is our coaching that we offer. So we offer a lot
Yes.
at FX Trader's Edge, but it's all on this website under NinjaTrader. This is what I've developed for you, wavytunnelpro.com/NinjaTrader. And you can contact me at jody@fxtradersedge.com, JODY.
This has been great. It's been way too fast, Jody. It's been a treat talking to you. And everybody watching should go check out Jody's site here at wavytunnelpro.com/NinjaTrader. Jody, we'll do this again, and maybe we can, do a little bit of a deeper dive in the other oscillators you had and learn more about them. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us.
Thank you. This has been great. A lot of fun.
The following presentation is for educational purposes only. All the symbols, trading ideas, and market commentary are for educational and demonstrational purposes only and are not recommendations or trading advice. Live sample trading occurs in a simulated environment. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All the information and content presented is provided by NinjaTrader LLC, and the opinions expressed by all third-party guests are their own and are not necessarily those of NinjaTrader LLC. Trading futures involves substantial risk and may not be suitable for everyone, and trading futures can result in losses greater than the initial required margin. Traders should only trade futures with risk capital. Risk capital is money that you can afford to lose without jeopardizing your financial security or current lifestyle. You can find additional disclosure information on the NinjaTrader website.